Fast forward, I get a call and they tell me that they want me on season 11 of Below Deck. I need to replace somebody that's going to be fired and I need to get on the show. And my mind is blown. Richard's manifestation for me that he wrote actually came into existence. This was my first real taste of actually achieving what I set my mind to. This guy that has achieved these huge things in his life believed in me. And because he believed in me, I had to achieve it. So I applied for this TV show Below Deck for about 4 years almost.
Hello everybody, my name is Dylan, the videos people love Netflix. I've always wanted to do reality TV and I feel like my personality fits that. I've literally that's what I want to do.
How did I get on Below Deck? Start my car content journey. Why car content? Why didn't I stay in the TV industry? Why didn't I stay on Below Deck? How did I even get on Below Deck? Well, today I'm going to be answering those questions and I'm going to tell you what was the most important thing for me in my life besides Christ and how I actually got to this point in my life. I left school in 2017, started working as a crane operator in the cargo ship port. I moved over to Europe in 2020 when I went to go look for my first job on a super yacht. I'd done my courses, I'd saved up money and I went over with 80,000 Rand. That is the equivalent to about 4,000 euros in my bank account. I left over with high ambition and I was extremely excited for life. I used to listen to this man from that age, Mr. Jim Rohn, and this guy set me on the right path of moving in the direction of what I wanted to do with my life, which was taking a hold of it, doing what I want to do and going in the direction where I wanted to go. So in 2019, I made a decision that completely changed my life forever. I decided to go do my yachting courses and I decided to go over just before this pandemic happened. So let's go back to the beginning of everything. I'm gonna make you proud.
Be proud and do something.
I went and I tried to look for my first job on the super yachts. I was in Antibes, I was dock walking, and I took a train from Antibes to Cannes. There was this boat called Leisure, and there was a guy on the boat, and on this boat was a captain. His name was Zdravko. Now this guy was a Croatian oak, super nice guy, and he decided, okay, he's gonna give me some day work. Now, bear in mind, I am almost expired on my visa. I have no money left, and I was completely screwed, but that's a story for another day. I got my temporary job on this boat, and the guy that owned the boat, his name was Richard. Now, he had a son, and his son and I, we really got along. And I worked as hard as I could on this boat to prove to this guy that, listen, because I really didn't want to be dropped. Like, listen, I am the best guy for you on this boat, and I'm going to make this journey of the season the best possible for you. Now, this guy really took a liking to me. And what happened was he decided that I was destined for the show business. I was destined to go on a show and I was destined to go on something called Below Deck. Now, what happened was he wrote me a reference, and I'll put the reference over here. Now, this reference that Richard wrote me, it showed me that this guy that has achieved these huge things in his life believed in me. And because he believed in me, I had to achieve it. So I applied for this TV show Below Deck for about 4 years almost. And guess what? I didn't get it. What happened was I just gave up. I gave up and I saw them reposting on Instagram that they're looking for charter guests. Now, I'd been applying for every single month and no response whatsoever. They didn't care about me. They didn't really want to hire me. They didn't really take any interest in me. I mean, come on, like, they got so many people. Why would they just sponsor some South African oak on the boat? So I go and I reply to them and I say, all right, my name is Dylan. I'm applying to be a charter guest on the yacht, pretending to be some absolute millionaire. Obviously, it's a bullshit story. I wasn't any millionaire. I wasn't anyone. I was a yachty, a deckhand. And they said, okay, sure, we're setting up an interview. So they set up an interview. I get on the interview. I put on my nice shirt. I go and I start to chat to them and I say, okay, the real reason I'm here is because I've been applying to get on this TV show for almost 4 years and I need to get on the show. And this producer looks at me and I still remember this guy's look in his face. He was like, bro, this guy's such an idiot. And they were like, you know what, okay, we're gonna put you forward to the casting team. I'm like wasting their time, right? So they put me forward to the casting team and Bob's your uncle, I'm in an interview with them. I told them my story and they were like, well, I'm pretty sure they were like, yeah, well, I've got balls. So at least I had that going for me at the time. Fast forward, I get a call and they tell me that they want me on season 11 of Below Deck. I need to replace somebody that's gonna be fired and I need to get on the show. And my mind is blown. Richard's manifestation for me that he wrote actually came into existence. This was my first real taste of actually achieving what I set my mind to. Even though getting into the yachting industry was a hassle itself, I set my mind to achieving this. And well, it took me a long time, but then I did. All right, let's get into this. Now, obviously, Richard was really proud of me to go on Below Deck. And then once I got onto the TV show, it was very different to what I thought it was. It's like when you go to a new country and you have this pre-envisioned idea of how it's going to be in the country, but then it's completely different when you get there. Not in a bad way necessarily, but it's completely different. Below Deck was exactly like that. It was completely different to what I actually envisioned it being, but it was really such a great time in my life. Shortly after that, I decided, okay, I'm gonna be famous. I'm gonna chase taste of Hollywood life. Hollywood life is for me. I have now become the main man, as we would say in South Africa. But I wasn't. I was absolutely at the bottom of the food chain in Hollywood. I was nothing. I was not cool. I was not the best thing in the world, and I was dropped like that. I saw that I was actually really easily replaceable, and that all of that hard work that I put in, it was actually just a facade of what it actually was. The facade was the fact that I am not actually what I thought I am, and that what I thought I was that guy on Below Deck, that entertainer. But that wasn't me. I was putting on a mask every single time. When I was on charter, I'd put on a mask. I'd pretend to be somebody that I wasn't to make sure these people are happy. I was doing the same on Below Deck. I didn't realize that, but I was doing the same every single time. And then I thought to myself, well, what, Dylan, if this is what it is, what makes you happy? I realized I really like cars. And that is exactly when I went and bought my 2006 Subaru WRX STI and spent an unfathomable amount of money on this stupid thing to make it my dream car. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not the best use of investment, but it was something that finally made sense to me. Something that I finally wanted to do, and something that I finally thought, wow, I'm actually loving what I do. You see, I didn't really like yachting all that much. I didn't really like Below Deck life all that much. I wasn't close to God. I wasn't close to really anything except pretending to be someone that I'm not really, that I really am not. So what I decided was I'm going to pursue something, even if I have to start from the ground up, at doing something that I truly like, that Dylan truly loves, and trying to help people along the way to show them that they can do that as well. So my expectation versus reality of what Below Deck was for me. I thought Below Deck would change my life overnight. You all see these overnight superstars that just go on TV and then they blow up and they're the coolest things in the world. And that didn't really happen to me, and that's probably because I'm absolutely not that special. I have to make myself special. Now, don't get me wrong, we're all even in the eyes of God, but I wasn't that special in the marketplace. I didn't really do anything great to make anybody say, wow, Dylan is someone worth following. So I thought, okay, well, I need to become someone worth following. So I set out to making car content and making it interesting. I moved over to C Point and I started a social media management company to try and help really successful companies that don't have a social media presence get a social media presence, consulting them and helping them. Because I knew, okay, well, that's one thing I know how to do. Let me go and do that. It kind of worked for me, but it's not what makes me fulfilled. What makes me fulfilled is doing stupid stuff with cars. And I know it's quite retarded, but that's what makes me happy. My expectations versus reality are always somehow conflicted. I feel like I really will love something, and then when I get it, it wasn't actually something that I love. It was more the process of achieving that. Now, what was the process for me? Well, the process was applying for 4 years, staying dedicated to it, staying dedicated to the gym, because I knew I couldn't look bad. I had to exercise every single day to make sure I'm in shape for when they choose me, that I'm ready. It wasn't about getting on Below Deck. It was about what it made of me, and what it made of me was being consistent, grinding every single day, applying to them, asking them to consider me, keeping hope that this millionaire believed in me. You see, sometimes all we just need is that one person to believe in us, to push us in that right direction. And if we have that in the right place in the right time, it can change your life considerably. And that's what happened to me. So I realized, okay, well, if that happened to me, I'm sure I can do that for somebody else. Hence why I am pushing in my own way to try and help other people that were like me. The expectation of getting 9,000 followers from Below Deck instead of 300,000 was a real hit in the nuts for me. I really thought, wow, I'm going to be this massive overnight sensation, but guess what? I really wasn't. So I really thought to myself, okay, there is something wrong with me. People don't like me. I'm not entertaining. That was furthest from the truth. See, when Below Deck is made, it is edited in a way to create drama. If you don't sleep with someone, you don't cause any significant damage to someone or something or drama, then you're not really going to be featured in the show all that much, and people aren't really going to find you, really interesting. So I didn't sleep with anyone, and I didn't cause all that drama. I was mostly just a hard worker. I was waiting for everyone to be like, yeah, Dylan's the guy. He's a hard worker. He's the best. But yeah, that's not what Hollywood is about. Hollywood is fake. Just as social media is fake. And when you live life through the eyes of somebody else, you often think to yourself, wow, that is the life I want to live. And then until you live that life, then you think to yourself, wow, okay, this is actually not the life I want to live. This is hollow. This is fake. This isn't a God blessed life. I'm not going to be blessed living this life. So what does this conclude to? I'm going to be making YouTube content. I know it's weird making YouTube content, but I feel like it's something that I've always wanted to do. Put it off, tried, and now I finally feel like I can put myself in a position where I can actually say I deserve it. I finally got into that point where I do feel like I deserve it, and I'm going to move in the direction of deserving it. I know if I put myself to it, I can achieve that golden play button, or that silver play button, or the bronze play button. And I don't think it's even about the play button. I think it's about the process of getting there, which is going to be the fun part. So welcome to my YouTube channel. My first video, the reality of Below Deck and why I started car content. And I'm glad you guys were here to join me. And if you made it to the end, I appreciate you so much. And stay tuned for the next video, because yeah, I've got a lot more bullshit to tell you guys. Ciao.